Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Science with Yash. And in the last session, we explored the basics of functions in Python and we understood how to define them, use them, and write the functions and what benefits that they bring to our code. And in today's session, we are diving into even more exciting topic that is Lambda functions and also the higher order functions like the map, filter, and reduce. And these are the powerful tools in Python which can bring our code more concise and readable. So let's get started with it. So lambda functions are small anonymous functions and these are defined by the lambda keyword. Like in the traditional functions that we have learned in the last class, there we have defined def as the keyword, and here in lambda functions we define the lambda as a keyword to start the function. And lambda functions are typically used for short, simple operations which can be defined in a single line of code, right? And next, lambdas are often used in conjunction with the functions, the higher order functions, we can call it as like map, filter, and also we can add the reduce to and reduce, right? So just a second. So here is the traditional function that adds the two numbers. We are starting with the def keyword and then giving the function name and then passing the parameters and trying to return this is the expression that is x plus y, and I'm trying to add these both. It gives the result as 443. And similarly, now let's see how we can achieve the same result using this lambda function. So I have taken the variable as add lambda, and this is the lambda, the keyword that to be used, and these are the arguments and a colon, and this is the expression x plus y. So basically it takes into arguments and the expression that is needed to be evaluated, and then when I'm trying to print this, we're getting the same result 443 and 443. How concise it is, the output is still the 443. You can see here this is 3 line of code and here it is simplified to a single line of code, right? And let's look at another example with a function that cubes a number. Similarly, I've taken the def keyword, started with def keyword, and the function name is cube, and the parameter is x, and I'm trying to cube a number. So 125, and similarly, the same can be achieved using the lambda function. Cube lambda equals to lambda, the argument and the expression to be evaluated, that is x into x into x, and we could achieve the same result 125 and 125. Clear? And this is one more example, to a function to check if a number is even or not. So def keyword, I'm given the function name as even and I'm passing a parameter of num and given a if condition stating that if this particular reminder we are able to get it is 0, then return it as true, else false. So since 20 is an even number, we are getting it as true, and the same can be achieved using a, and the same logic we can be using for lambda as well. So taken a variable even lambda and then the lambda keyword, and this is the argument and this is the expression. So number and number percentage 2 double equals to 0, which means it is checking if the reminder equals to 0, only then print it as true, else false. You can see here we can able to achieve the same result. Clear? So next comes the higher order functions. So higher order functions are functions that takes other functions as arguments. Basically, these functions are called as higher order functions because they take or they include some functions as their arguments. And within these higher order functions, we have map, we have filter, and we have reduce. Let's understand one by one. So first comes the map. So a map is a built-in function in Python that is often used in combination with the Lambda functions, and it allows you to apply a given function to each element of an iterable, and this iterable can be a list, it can be a tuple, or it can be a string, and it will return a new iterable containing the result. This we'll try to understand with the example. So the traditional function method is like you have taken you started off with the def keyword and then given the function name, and this is the parameter, and you are trying to square it. And within the traditional function, we can use how we are able to use this map function. We'll try to understand. I've taken in numbers, list of numbers, and stored in this object numbers, and squared numbers equals to what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use the argument as a function. That is what I have clearly mentioned. They include some functions as their arguments. So initially we had an argument x here, and similarly x comma y here, and in a similar fashion here we are using the function as an argument, and the iterable and the list or the tuple or the string, whichever you wanted to iterate over. So map will take two arguments. I mean, map will take the functions as the arguments. So this is a function name which we have defined here, and the other is the iterable where you wanted to implement that. So, and in order to convert this entire thing into list, I have specified here list. You can see here it is able to square each of the number that is there in the list. Clear? And the same can be achieved using the lambda function with map. So square numbers equals to lambda, and the same, like this is the argument and this is the expression, and this is the iterable where you want to implement this particular expression. So you can see here we can achieve the same result over here. And next comes a lambda function with map. Another such example here. Similarly, I have taken a list of numbers from 1 to 8, and what I'm trying to do is this is the argument and this is the expression, and this is the iterable where you wanted to implement. And we have specified list. If you are not specifying here, you can see here we are not able to achieve the desired result. So in order to convert the particular result into list, I have specified list. Clear? And we can also use the map with multiple iterables. So firstly, I have taken a list of 1, 2, 3, and the list 2 is 4, 5, 6. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to multiply, I'm trying to create a new list, and in that list I want the multiple of first element to first element, second to second, third to third, like 1 into 4, 2 into 5, and 3 into 6. So lambda x comma y, since we have two elements over here, and what I wanted to do is a multiplication operation, and I want to implement this on list 1 comma list 2, and this will give us the result as 4, 10, and 18. That is 1 4 is 4, 2 5 is 10, and 3 6 is 18. Clear? And next comes this map function is also used to convert a list of strings into integers. So using the map to convert the strings into integers. Let's say we have a string numbers that is 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Since I have given this in inverted comma, this indicates these are not integers, these are strings. So these are basically strings. So int numbers. So next we have specified the map, and as I told, it takes the functions as the argument. Here the function that we are using is int. This is the inbuilt function, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to convert this particular string into int. So I have taken this int function and then the iterable over which I want to apply. So when I'm trying to print this, you can see here this got converted into integer. So basically it is the same concept that the lambda will be taking two arguments. One is, it will take two different things. The one is the argument and the other is iterable, or the expression and the iterable. Similarly here, instead of the argument, it might take any function. So here it has taken the int as a function, and in the previous example, it has taken the square as the function, which we have named here, and so on. Clear? And similarly here, we have words. Let's say we have these three elements: apple, banana, and cherry. That is not in capital letter. And what I wanted to do here is map string dot upper. This is again a function, inbuilt function, and I want to apply this on the words. And I want the entire result to be there in the list, so I'm specifying the list here. So here is, we can able to get all the things in uppercase: apple, banana, and cherry. So here we are trying to convert a list of words to uppercase. Clear? And next comes the filter function. So filter is another inbuilt function in Python that's often used in combination with the Lambda functions, and it allows you to filter the elements from an iterable, similarly such as the list, the tuple, or the string based on a given condition, and returns a new iterable containing only the elements that satisfy the condition. This is like you are trying to filter out, you are trying to return a new iterable which will filter out only those elements which will satisfy the condition. You will provide a condition, and only if the condition is getting satisfied, it is going to print the numbers. So this is the traditional method. So list 2, I have taken these many elements. So we have discussed about the for loop in our previous sessions, and the same concept here. So for I in list 2, what I'm trying to do is, if that I percent is 5 double equals to 0, which means when it is dividing by 5 and we are able to get the remainder as 0, then only print the particular element. So 90, 45, and 45 once again, and 80. These are the numbers which are divisible by 5, exactly divisible by 5. So the same can be achieved using the filter function here. So filter lambda, so this is the argument and this is the expression again. So x percentage 5 double equals to 0, and this is the iterable on which you want to implement. We can get the same result over here, and I wanted this entire list to be there in the list format, so I specified list. Clear? And next comes filtering the even numbers. So we have these many elements that is there in the list, and what I wanted to do is, I wanted the only the even numbers to be printed. So even number equals to filter, and then lambda, this is the argument, and this is the expression, that is x percentage 2 double equals to 0. When it is dividing by 2 and we are able to get the remainder is 0, only then it is able to like print out, and implementing on this numbers that is there in the list format. And when I'm trying to print this, so 5606, these are the even numbers that is present in this, among this entire list. Clear? And applying this filter with a lambda function and adding multiple conditions. Till this point we have tried checking only by giving one such condition, that is either if it is divisible by 2 and giving the remainder is 0, only then print. And similarly here we are trying to give multiple conditions. Let's say we have a list of numbers 1 to 9, and then what I specified here is filter lambda, this is the argument, and x greater than 5 and x percentage 2 double equals to 0. So that particular number should be greater than 5, and also it should be divisible by 2, like exactly divisible by 2. and this should be applied on this iterable, that is numbers, which is there in the list format. So when I'm trying to print this, you can see here 6 and 8, which is satisfying both the conditions, that is x is greater than 5, that is 6 is greater than 5, and also divisible by 2. 6 is divisible by 2, and similarly 8 is greater than 5 and also divisible by 2. Clear? And lastly comes about the reduce. The reduce function, the reduce function from the function tool package in Python, that can be used in combination with the lambda function to repeatedly apply a given function to the elements of an iterable, such as list, tuple, or string, in a cumulative way, reducing the iterable to a single value. So basically, this reduce, we have to import it from function tools. So from function tools, or we call it as func tools, import reduce, and I have taken a list of numbers, and what I'm trying to do is, this is the argument, that is x comma y, and what I'm trying to do is x plus y. When I'm using this reduce, what it does is it works this expression like 3 plus 7, it is giving 10, and then cumulative addition, 10 plus 9 19, 19 plus 0 19 again, and 19 plus 4 23, and 23 plus 5 28, and 28 plus 8 36. So we are going to get it as, I mean, 36. So what it is doing is used with combination lambda function which repeatedly apply a given function. So this is the expression, and it repeatedly apply to the elements of the iterable, such as list, tuple, or string, in a cumulative way. And finally, it will be reducing the iterable to a single value. We have a single value now. Clear? So that's it for today's session on lambda functions and higher order functions in Python. These tools are incredibly powerful and help you to write more concise and readable code. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Data Science with Yash for more such